Hey everybody, it's Mark from the Crystal Chronicles, your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast. We come to you live on Twitch and YouTube every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Mino and myself bringing you all your DFFOO news and talk. Well, I'm back from vacation, and that means another DFFOO tier list, this time for the end of February and March 2022. We just had the Squex mobile stream, so we know there wasn't a lot of surprises on the way this month, and we can talk about the next two burst cycles, Gilgamesh and Theodore. Again, this tier list is a resource management tier list. I have 4 tiers, C, B, A, and S. C are suggested skips. B, considered depending on your roster needs. A, 300 tickets each. You get about 600 tickets a month. S, 75,000 gems focused on the LD. Sometimes I try to have those top 2 tiers be together for BT cycles. Sometimes not. Remember, this is garbage time. Pretty much all your characters are going to be usable. Your favorites are going to be usable, especially if you invest with the blue armor, the green BTs, the ultimate weapons. Then you just need to build around them. But if you're trying to save resources, I think this is the way to go. Obviously, you can see I have quite a few resources, and I do pull pretty consistently as well. So you can take it or leave it. Let me know your pull plans below. Like, sub, ring the bell for notifications. If you want to become a member, I think I'll do an exclusive video about my personal pull plans for members only. It's only 99 cents. You get emotes, etc., personal individual channels in our Discord as well. So let's get to the meat of the day, and that is the actual tier list. So start with C tier. These are the suggested skips. We start the month with Gilgamesh and Rosa. Hey, I love Rosa. I love Final Fantasy IV. My Rosa's blue, and I'm looking forward to her C90. Obviously, if you already have her, great. If you don't, you shouldn't be chasing her. You may have even picked up Aiko. She's doing kind of what Rosa does a lot better, although Rosa is a decent support. Not worth pulling on, and that goes for Greg as well. Gilgamesh, although an interesting character, he is heavily focused on utility, which means his damage is not great. Yes, at me with all the pictures of your Gilgamesh Clairs with your ultimate weapon and friend Garnet. I get it. Yes, if you fully invest in a character, they're going to be usable, but let me replace your Gilgamesh with any other character in the damage dealer cycles. You'll probably find him doing that because he is really kind of a utility character. With his LD, he gets special weapons at the beginning of every turn, basically a bonus attack, which is really nice. That does Cloud's weapon, Ramses' weapon, Paladin Cecil's weapon, and there's an Onion Knight's weapon. And so it can move turn orders, it can delay, it can launch, etc., heal. It's nice. It's random. It's fun. He does have, with his BT effects, some really good HP cap up, just like Garnet. So that's nice, although he's going to eat through his burst phase, even though it's 12 turns because of those free actions or that free HP attack every turn. Again, he's just really a mid character that's kind of jack of all trades, master of none. And so the investment for a green and a blue and an ultimate weapon, I just don't think it's worth it. So obviously, if you love him, I think the costume's really cool. And if you're a big Gilgamesh fan, you're going to use him. You're going to have a lot of fun with him. It's not a terrible banner, but my general suggestion is skip. Kefka and Guy is going to be the other banner. Kefka gets his green and C90. Guy gets his C90. I'm not even going to talk about them. You should avoid this banner like the plague. It is a very easy skip. Obviously, again, you love the characters. You'll get use out of them, but this one's pretty fair. Now, going all the way to Theodore cycle. I think this is the first month that I'm suggesting you skip both burst characters because that may not be true, but man, they're just underwhelming. Theodore, I always felt was kind of underwhelming. You know, this kind of hybrid holy damage. He does a little bit of what his father does, a little bit of what his mother does, and now he does, he gets Cain with his burst, I guess, animation, which is kind of cool. But he's just not bringing a lot to the table, in my opinion. I actually think Cyan is kind of cool. He is a defense ignoring damage dealer. He gets a new kind of cool overhead buff with his LD. I know Necklord, our friend, is going to make really good use out of him. Get that ultimate weapon, blue Cyan, doing a lot of fun things. Unfortunately, I think his banner mate's just garbage. And so I think this is a really safe skip. So I think you're very safe to skip Gilgamesh, Rosa banner. I'm kind of pairing these banners together now. Kefka Guy banner and Theodore Cyan banner. That moves us to B tier. These are things you should just think about. Maybe skips, maybe depending on your roster needs, you can keep these characters. The first is Tidus and Ignis. Now, we don't know for sure that Iggy is going to be on the Tidus banner because they didn't address Iggy on that banner on the Squex slide, so they could shake this up a little bit. But if it is the banner that they got in JP, it is Tidus and Iggy. Tidus gets his green. Iggy gets a C90. They both get C90, I guess. Tidus is super broken. Iggy's pretty good as well. They both come back early FR and are both very powerful. So if you wanted to pick up their LDs or BT, a chance at the BT here, and you don't have them, this might be a good one. I have both of them. I'm going to green Tidus. But it's something to think about, especially if you look ahead at those FR banners, because Tidus FR is super awesome. Iggy in that era is pretty good. So it's something to think. You can probably get both of them and then pull on a different banner on the next release. So something to keep in mind. The next one is the Rem Cypher banner. And so Rem comes back with her LD. Cypher gets his C90. Excuse me. Rem is, the first, really the first support, right? With healing and battery, turn swapping. A decent character, just really not in an era that you're going to need her, or she has just a lot of competition. Cypher, the AoE delayer, again, he's got a lot of competition, especially with other characters this month. And I think that's really the problem with this banner. There are other characters doing what they do kind of better, and so you'll probably be able to skip them. But if you need a little extra padding on your roster, these two characters could definitely help. So let's move to A tier. These are the characters I suggest, or the banners I suggest you spend maybe about 300 tickets on chasing one of the LDs. The first one is Yuri and Kistis. Now, Yuri's going to come back. He gets his LD here. He's going to come back with a BT and an FR. Really, really solid at that time. But if you wanted to pick up his LD here, fine. I don't think he's super great at this point. I think his bannermate, Kistis, is much, much better. Kistis in her LD era was great. Her LD AoE delayed, and then she gets the instant turn, consecutive turns with the skill 2, extra versions of the skill 2, even S1 a little bit better. Obviously, the EX was the weak link. Guess what? It's C90. The EX is no longer the weak link. It does significantly more damage. It also now delays. I don't think it delayed. And it, of course, recharges every other turn. So Kistis, the queen of delays, is doing what she does really, really well. Even better now. I'm looking forward to her. My Kistis is blue. Obviously wouldn't invest an ultimate weapon in her, but really, really solid. If you don't have her and you need a delayer, good pickup. The next banner, Fang Beatrix. Again, if you don't have either of these characters, I think this is a really good. Beatrix is special. Obviously, her EX becomes much more powerful. Her EX attack, the safeguard, paladin safeguard, whatever, holy safeguard, whatever that's called, that becomes a little bit more powerful. But her special buff that allows you to take no damage, 100% HP resist, now lasts 2 turns. I think that's significant as opposed to the 1 turn. That was always kind of problematic. Just having that 1 turn, you could really screw around with that poorly and lose it. Now it's 2 turns, much, much better. Always been solid support, solid defensive unit. And Fang comes back actually fairly decently. The big thing she gets is with her LD, she gets a new buff. When she applies debuffs, she gets to apply this new debuff called Daze, which does HP and brave damage resist down for the enemy, and also prevents them from acting for several turns. So really, really solid addition to Fang. Obviously, she's not bringing a ton of support to the party besides that. So she is kind of both these characters, these kind of third character or third slot characters. Kistis is the same way. All kind of third slot characters to add to your party depending on your roster needs. But I think they're really good value banners if you're looking to fill your roster up if you don't have them. Obviously, if you have Beatrix and Kistis, I think you skip both these banners. That brings us to the gem poll, and I think this is easily Layla this month. She is our pirate captain, not Ferris character, probably character you've never even heard of, but she's super, super awesome. She is a defensive character in that she prevents party damage. She is also a tank. She brings attacks to her, but she's an evade tank, and she offers some counter, although her counters are a little bit different in that they heal the party and add to the party's brave and do some other things as well. She's just, and she brings all the stuff that you would want a support character. So she's a more support-oriented tank. She's an evasion tank. She has the counters. She has a lot of defensive capabilities. She's really stupid, really fairly broken. But obviously, this is an era where you don't necessarily need this, and there are some other kind of defensive characters and support characters coming and tank characters coming. So that being said, these are my suggestions. I also think this is a good month to just save resources, especially if you already have some of these characters and you can C90 them and get through with their C90s. Great. Save up for kind of the next couple months, picking one or two characters. This would be a decent month to just save resources. Obviously, you have to find a way for yourself to enjoy the game. So if you need to pull, those are my suggestions to pick up some of these characters. I think they are fun. But if not, well, again, do whatever you want. Let me know what you're doing. Again, if you're watching this long, like, sub, ring the bell for notifications. Consider becoming a member for 99 cents. Let me know what your plans are for this month. I do read all your comments and appreciate you commenting and sharing and liking and all that kind of stuff. If you do take the context, if you're watching and you're like, oh, I skipped ahead to the tier list and I'm going to take it out of context and put it on things. Again, this is a resource management tier list. And if people see you taking it out of context on Discord or Reddit or Facebook, they'll probably call you out because I do have a lot of people that watch these and actually know what they're about. And I probably won't go out of my way to do that because I don't care that much. But just realize if you're going to act like a fool, hey, you'll get called out of it. But if you want to know the full breakdowns on all these characters, our experience with them, you can join Mino and myself on Twitch and also on YouTube live every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central on the Crystal Chronicles podcast. And I use that word specifically because we don't only share it here on YouTube and on Twitch, we also share that on all your favorite podcast apps, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, all the podcasts you could ever want, and our website, tccpodcast.com. Check out the links below. Join our Discord. It's a lot of fun. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to this month. We're going to find some ways to make it interesting. It will be the anniversary of the podcast. I think the 4th anniversary of the podcast is this month. So we'll probably do some giveaways and some other fun. Looking forward to it. Thank you all for watching. Good luck on your polls, and we'll see you next time.